Shout out to everybody out there on White Street. You already know what it is. Salute to everybody.
What's going on, yo? Welcome back to SteveBussaGS. We got another scorecard reaction for you guys, and you already know what it is. Man, we checked out the cipher. I said I wasn't going to check out the ciphers. Koofies and Merkums dropped down on the cipher. I had to check out the ciphers. With that being said, there was 3 or 4 of them in there that I said I wanted to dig in deeper to. The first one on my list to jump into was Duane TV. Duane had this presence. He had this flow about him that was just like, that's the shit that I listen to. Right, he had this whole like presence. Not as much of a bulldog as like Merkums, but it kind of had that like that bully vibe at the end of all the bars, and like that's the type of shit that I was into. I was like, all right, this is super dope. So I said I was gonna look into him more. Then my subscribers started hitting me up, and they were like, yo, I put you on the con. You got to go and check out this one by Duane. You're gonna love him. So now I got people that have followed me and subscribed to me that know the type of stuff that I like and don't like, and they're like, yo, you're also going to like this guy? Bet. I'm in. So we're going to check them out. We liked them on the cipher. The cipher was lighter though, right? The cipher wasn't like a detailed breakdown. The cipher was a versus to see who we like more, one person or the other. Let's see how Duane holds up now to the scorecard reaction when we break it down and score him out at the end of it. Do me a favor, run the gauntlet, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, little bell notification guy. If you want to support the channel, best way to do so is by joining the Patreon right down there in the description below. We are running a contest, raffle on the 1st of September. Whoever wins the raffle for the Patreon contest will get to pick the first 10 reactions in September. So go check that out. Let's hop into it, man. Let's get into this. Duane Jackson. First of all, for some reason his name, Duane Jackson, reminded me of DZK, Andrew Jackson. How he used to come on with all that shit. And I was the biggest Andrew Jackson fan that there was. So like I was already kind of in on that. That's like a little bias in the corner. We tucked that one away. Y'all ain't know about that one. Alright, let's go.
I'm sick of the way that these niggas act out. They like, you ain't even swinging in your tracks now. I tell them straight up, I think that shit's a whack style. I ain't about to class clown. People spam punches cause they ain't got shit to rap about. I play the high game. You can take the trash route. You can be the rapper that ain't got nothing to pass down.
Alright, we're gonna bring this back. We're gonna dig into this a little bit. Here's the second time he said that. So this is a recurring thing with him. And this is an irony in it, right? Because there's going to be a bias here because I'm a punchline rapper. So first of all, fuck you. But nah, I see what he's saying. I like the idea of content over generic punches, which I think is what he's going for. I think the idea is he wants to make a legacy of work that speaks to a cause or speaks to a reason, as opposed to like a generic random punchline that doesn't have any substance behind it. That's my take on it, at least. Because somebody that does reactions to music, I can't see someone not enjoying a line or a bar that makes your face scrunch up. So I don't think that there's going to be a genuine distaste for punchlines, but I think it's more like the stereotype around punchline rappers, right? So like, let's get into it. Let's see what it is.
I'm sick of the way that these niggas act out. They like, you ain't even swinging in your tracks now. I tell them straight up, I think that shit's a whack style. I ain't about to class clown. People spam punches cause they ain't got shit to rap about. I play the high game. You can take the trash route. You can be the rapper that ain't got nothing to pass down. I'ma be that nigga in a spaceship getting blacked out with a couple bad alien bitches smoking a pack of loud. They like, why you talking bitches in like every track? Probably mad I'm talking shit that you ain't never had.
Let's go. Alright, he's a little braggadocious. He's on the shit. This is like this is background music for me. This is the type of shit that I have on while I'm playing video games. This is the type of shit that I put on while I'm doing beer pong and shit like that. You put on at the party that everyone just kind of like nod to while they're doing shit. That's like, it's a combination of the beat and the way that he's riding it. Kind of reminds me of like the earlier zany Slim Shady type stuff, like the early shit. That's the vibe that he's giving off lyrically.
What's the point of life if you ain't gonna get the bag? I teach you about it every weekend, homie. You can pick the class. I'm the president. Weed smoke is evident. My bars moving like a Kia Coke. I'm the evidence. I ain't be surrendering nothing. This the precedent that I will go on to be the greatest there has ever been. It's quite obvious. Alma mater is confidence. I grew up with the want to be great. I went from bottled blend into everything you see in your face. They call it cockiness, and I'll embrace that, but I still feel like they are not convinced. To stand out, you gotta throw some hands now. You gotta have some controversial shit that you can plan. I'll pass, but I understand the method of the mad. And although I think about it, I ain't never took a chance. I got bars, I got flow, and a little bit of character. Guess if that don't work, I just start to be hysterical. Like, what up, though?
So his bar structure here is a little bit different. Like, it's like purposely, it seems like it's purposely deviating from what I said I liked with like the shit, like on purpose, where this is more like he's catching a vibe and he's catching a flow the entire time. I'm like super distracted right there. I'm with it though. I like it for what it is. This definitely seems like more of a freestyle, more of a free verse that I would vibe to. It's not one that's making me pause and scrunch my face up a million times, but it's one that I would be able to revisit this multiple times. Like, this is something that I could throw on a playlist. It's playlist music is what it is. I could throw this on my O2 Go playlist and it'll just fit a vibe and let me kind of like rock out, you dig?
Shots in your back, punk. I ain't live like that in real life, but in my raps, thug. I be beasting on these bitches in my track, son. I'm robbing everything I see and always masked up. I'm like no life Shaq whenever them rats come. I'm shooting everything that's in front of me, yelling, that's tough. Shit, my gun got a mask too. Now that
I always feel like the Shaq ones, the Shaq shoutouts are weird. If you're cool with them and that's your guy, is like one thing. But if it's just like it seems like a clout pull all the time. Whenever you hear his name pop up in these tracks, it's always kind of like trying to grab attention. I don't know his relationship. They could like be dope. You know what I'm saying? Like Shaq is cool with a lot of the reactors, and I know Duane now is like moving within that pack. So it's very possible that that's just like a dab out to his guy. That's tough school. The that's tough line was alright.
that's love. It's even got a gat that it holds.
Hold on, pull it back. I would be remiss if I said I didn't like the random clout chasing though, because you guys that watch me know that I always call it out whenever I hear a Shaq line and the other stuff, and they'll be like, oh, he didn't call it out that time. Nah, we call it out every time.
Yelling, that's tough. Shit, my gun got a mask too. Now that's love. It's even got a gat that it holds. I seen it black once. He ran up on a nigga that rapped and said, you whack, brother, and smoked that nigga out of his boots. Well, his track bumped.
That was dope. He would definitely make the playlist. All right, let's go. Let's pull up the scorecard. This is what you guys came for. Let's see how much we actually liked it and break it down. I am new to Duane. This is my actual first time hearing this track. If you guys are new here, in order for me to be a fan of somebody, you got to catch at least 3 of them. Right now, he's 1 for 1. You could say, you could make an argument for 2 for 2 because we heard him on the Cypher and we liked him, but that wasn't really like his project, you know what I'm saying? I would much rather him have his own segmented videos on the channel and stuff like that if it's someone we're going to dig into. So right now he's 1 for 1. The target audience for this, I think I'm actually the opposite. He's coming at the punchline rappers. I'm a punchline rapper, you know what I'm saying? But overall, as far as the vibe of the track and stuff like that, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Proper setting for this, I'm telling you, this is background music for me, man. This is the type of shit that I would put on when, like, anytime that I had something to do. This just like puts you in that vibe, like that just like lets you kind of like focus and zone in on shit like that. He rode the beat so smoothly the entire time that it was kind of like hypnotic almost. Like he was in the pocket the entire time. Ghostwriter, I got early Slim Shady Hobson vibes. To where, like, and this is because of the lyrical content. It wasn't the way that he sounded, and it wasn't his flow or nothing like that. It was literally like the words that he was using and like the colorfulness of the bars that were like a little zany and shit like that, talking about alien bitches and stuff like that. That puts me in that Slim Shady Hobson mindset, that Tyler the Creator mindset, that Odd Future mindset when I hear stuff. Also, if you're new here, ghostwriter doesn't mean that I actually think Eminem is ghostwriting for him. That is literally just my way of saying where we went when we heard it, where we heard influence being pulled from. You dig? So let's break it down now. Bars or lyrics? It was alright. I'm gonna give him a 20. Best they could do, nothing trash, solid verse. He caught a couple that I liked in there, 20 out of 25. There was no haymakers. He didn't have nothing in there that was like, wow, that should be on a t-shirt. You feel me? But at the same time, he didn't have nothing corny. There was nothing in there that made me like feel like it was cringe. The No Life Shaq thing, I could give or take. He's one of the people that I think might actually be running in that circle, so I'm not going to like deduct the points where it's like, oh, I think he's clout chasing. I think it probably just is his guy. They probably have exchanged words and stuff like that. That's an entirely different thing. Like, same way that I shout out Koofies or Merkums on a track, there's like, those are my people and shit like that that I interact with. You feel me? The delivery, super, super solid. I'm gonna give him another 20 for it. 20 out of 25. He didn't do anything crazy. There wasn't no crazy flow switchers. There wasn't anything like above and beyond. But he was super consistent and super smooth the entire time. I would give it a cool 20 out of 25. What I would like to see more from him, just that, like, maybe I would have to hear him on a track. You know what I'm saying? I would have to hear him on an actual song. 3 verses, see how he does a hook, see if he jumps in and out of pockets. Like, both times that I've heard him, he has a very consistent flow from beginning to end, and there's nothing wrong with that. But he's also not like, he's not something that I would say is like the greatest flow that I've ever heard. Like, we see people that jump in and out of different flows from the hooks to the verses and shit like that. I would want to see where his versatility lies. But I would definitely give it a 20. Best they could do, nothing trash, solid verse. Beat selection was dope for what it was, 15 out of 15. Sound quality mixing, 15 out of 15, no problems. Effectiveness, yeah, I'll give it a 10 out of 10. Here's why. This definitely made me interested to hear more. Like, nothing that he did in there was like, I can live without this for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? It was cool. Plus, coupled with the idea of the fact, like, the interaction that I had definitely was positive with him and shit like that, too. I'm curious to see how he reacts if and when we find a track that maybe we don't click with. Because there was some drama, you know what I'm saying, with these people. Don't get me started on the YouTube community. But overall, man, between what he's dropping down in the verses, between the interaction that I've had with him, stuff like that, the effectiveness of this, I would give it 10 out of 10. Definitely makes me want to dig in more. I think the people that watch the stuff that I put out in my content are going to like him and gravitate toward him. So I think he's going to grab a couple subs. I think he's going to grab a couple fans off the channel, which is super dope. Enjoyability, I'll give you a 9 out of 10. It's definitely going on a playlist or a playlist. I would definitely put this on one of my playlists. 89 out of 100, that's my score. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Drop down in the comments below. Let's talk about it. As always, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, and I will catch y'all on the next one.